Hi again, everybody. Bill Phillips here, and we are ready for the weekend. We're closing in on it. It is a Thursday, and the weekend is right in front of us, and it is a Triple Crown weekend. It's the second jewel of the Triple Crown, Preakness Stakes, horse racing's Triple Crown. Of course, you'll be able to see that on WTOV 9 Saturday afternoon. Of course, Mystic Dan is looking to get the second jewel of the Triple Crown. Mystic Dan, a little bit of a long shot, won the Kentucky Derby a couple of weekends ago, first Saturday in May, and is one of the favorites now to perhaps win that second race, the Preakness. A small field, only 8 horses. If I believe memory serves, 20 horses in the Kentucky Derby, but now just down to 8 horses in the Preakness, but always an exciting race. The run for the Black-Eyed Susans is what they are running for at the Preakness. So you'll have that on WTOV 9 this weekend, Saturday afternoon. And let's see, if I have this correct, too, Mystic Dan's going to break from the 5-hole Kentucky Derby winner. And basically, a lot of the big names in terms of the race at the Kentucky Derby, Catching Freedom, 4th place finisher at the Kentucky Derby. Mystic Dan is the big favorite. Catching Freedom 6-1. Just Steel finished in 17th place. Big disappointment in the Derby. 15-1 in this one. Maybe take a shot on Just Steel. We'll talk about all this a little bit later today. We're going to have a special Preakness preview and get the expert advice from Mark Patterson from the Mountaineer Racetrack Resort and Casino. And, of course, they have horse racing, so he's going to break it all down for us. We'll have much more on that. Let you know where to find that a little bit later on. But right now, it is time to thank it's time to thank you for showing up and being here. Tracy, can't thank you enough for being here. Good morning. And everybody else out there is watching. We want to thank Mindset to Wellness, Cambridge Wellness Co-op, and Cinna. If you're looking for fitness from head to toe, inside and out, that is the place to go. Give them a call, Mindset to Wellness. And we have, of course, Cambridge Wellness Co-op and Cinna. And we're going to have to make a field trip. We need to make a field trip to show you guys behind the scenes of these 3 outstanding facilities. If you're looking for the best in fitness for mind, body, and soul, it is these 3, Mindset to Wellness, Cambridge Wellness Co-op, and Cinna. And right now, I know everybody's feeling a little bit better. Happy Thursday. Yeah, Jessica, happy Thursday. Happy Thursday indeed. And a lot of people are happy because the National Football League schedule was released last night in its entirety. There's still a couple of times where you're going to have to wait and see what the game times are set for. But the Steelers and Browns, the teams we follow the most in here at WTOV 9 and in the 9-minute Phill-Up because they're the closest ones. Hans, how are you? Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Well, how about this? So we have the Steelers and the Browns. We'll kind of go through it, just pick out the top spots. And if you're not going to go through the whole thing because, not everybody's looking to get, you can look at the schedule yourself. But some interesting things here. The Browns, and we knew this prior to yesterday's release, but the Browns will take on the Dallas Cowboys 4:25 at a home game on Sunday, September 8th. And the big news for that one, not only is it the season opener for the Browns and the season opener for Cowboys, Tom Brady's season opener as the new color analyst for Fox Sports. So you'll be able to catch him on Fox 9. The Cowboys and the Browns, that is the opener for the Browns. Browns at home. Then the Browns head to Jacksonville, back home against the Giants, play in Vegas in week number 4, Washington, the Commanders, and then it's Philadelphia. Then we go a little bit of a stretch here. Philadelphia, Cincinnati, Baltimore. It's 3 tough ones. Chargers should be better this week. Saints, and then the Steelers, Denver, and the Steelers. So a 3-week period where you're going to get the Steelers twice. And then Kansas City, Cincinnati, Miami, and Baltimore. So the back half of both of these schedules for the Browns and the Steelers, they're loaded. These are teams that are going to have to get their wins early. At least that's what, if you look at the schedule, you want to make hay as early as possible. And then that way you're not worried about, winning those games late. You still want to win them, but, let's see. Jordan checks in, Steelers, Chargers, September 22nd home opener. Yeah, it's a late home opener, but Jordan very excited about that home opener. Why not? Should be an entertaining game. Hans, Thank you for loving WTOV9. We appreciate it. And good morning. Good morning. Good morning indeed. So everybody checking in, greatly appreciate that. So now we looked at the Browns schedule real quickly. Now, how about the Steelers? They start with Atlanta on the road, Denver on the road, then the Chargers, as Jordan mentioned. And it's one of those things where it's 3 weeks in, but hopefully they've hit the ground running and they're on a 2-0 start if you're a Steelers fan. But then the Chargers, Indianapolis, Dallas comes in at 8:20 game. Then the Las Vegas Raiders at 4:05. It's an away game. Then they're home with the Jets, home with the Giants, away at Washington. And now the Jets are going to be better. They're going to have a better quarterback in Aaron Rodgers if he doesn't get hurt again. But then the final stretch, much like the Browns stretch down the end of the season, if you're discounting Washington as a team they should be better, but they're not a playoff team. Baltimore, Cleveland, Cincinnati, Cleveland, Philadelphia, Baltimore, Kansas City on Christmas Day, and Cincinnati to finish out the season. So the Browns and the Steelers both with strong finishes to the season in terms of teams that they're playing as they look at it on paper. Cam Hayward looking for a contract extension. Never misses OTAs, never misses offseason practices. He's missing those this year. He's decided to sit them out. What do you think about that? Steelers on Christmas Day taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. If you're the Chiefs, are you a little angry? Kansas City played on Christmas Day last year. And, as Jerome Bettis once told me, he said, professional sports, you don't have holidays. He said, it's just another Thursday. He said, Thanksgiving to me, just another Thursday. Because you have to go and you play, you practice, whatever you need to do. But still, back-to-back Christmas Day games for Kansas City. They're the popular guys. They're the people that everyone want to see. But you'd think they might get this Christmas off after playing last Christmas against the Raiders. But they do not. They will be playing the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they'll be playing in Pittsburgh. Last year they were on the road. This year, or they're at home. This year they're going to be on the road. Let's see. A question from Bill. How do you think Russell Wilson will do for the Steelers this season? It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see if he has anything left in the gas tank. He got better as the season went on last year, and that's why they have Justin Fields. So Russell Wilson, you would hope he would do well. He's a competent quarterback. They've built up that offensive line. That was critical in the draft. They went out and addressed that. So he should have good protection. He's still going to have some young offensive linemen on that line. So it'll be interesting. But if they can keep him upright, give him lanes to throw in, and the running game gets started, I think he's going to be fine. But Justin Fields, pardon me. Justin Fields is there. And I think Fields will do a good job as well. I just don't know if Russell Wilson is going to go through the whole season without, if he gets benched, if he gets injured. But it's all going to be about that start. So it'll be interesting. Better question may be, how long is the leash that they will give him in terms of whether they let him go 3-4 games if he's not playing well, or did they just go to Justin Fields and make that change? All right, Tracy, Bengals fan. Hopefully we've finished strong. Well, I'll tell you what, Tracy, you've got some games where you take on the Browns, you take on the Steelers. A lot of games stacked up. Tracy, you are a regular on the 9-minute Phill-Up, so we're going to get the phone out. We're going to look at the Bengals schedule. Let's see if we can find that real quick. Should have been prepared for that. Should have known there was a Bengals fan out there. Should have. I apologize. Let's see. All right, here we go. NFL. Let's go. News. I need the. Let's see. We'll get to. Here we go. This is exciting digital content, isn't it? Let's see. Bengals. Here we go. Preseason. Okay. They're going to start the season with the Patriots. The Patriots are going to be better than last year. Oh, we're in overtime already. We're going to have free football this season. We're also going to have free overtime on the 9-minute Phill-Up. And then they get the Chiefs. So everybody in the division gets the Chiefs. Then they get a trip to Washington. They get the Panthers. So the start of their season for Cincinnati looks like very doable. And then they get into the Ravens, the Giants, the Browns, the Eagles, the Bengals, the Raiders. So they have the Cowboys late, the Titans late. So they're going to have some games down the stretch that are much more difficult. So it seems like for the AFC North division teams, you're going to have a lot of teams that are playing some critical games down the stretch. So, let's see, what else do we have here? Tim McCoy checking in. Interesting note. The first weekend of NFL season features a Fox doubleheader. First, the game against Pittsburgh at Atlanta, and then 4:30 Dallas and Cleveland. We talked about Dallas and Cleveland with the Tom Brady factor. How many times are we going to get to see him during the game? But that'll be an interesting game in Pittsburgh going to Atlanta, because the Steelers players are going to want to win for Arthur Smith, their no offensive coordinator, the former coach at Atlanta last year. And players, coaches, they make notes on that. Hey, these are the guys that, this is a team they want to beat. Let's take care of our guy. So it'll be interesting, the opener, to see how that works out. Let's see. Is there another team in the NFL? No, just Cincinnati. Tracy, just Cincinnati. You know that. You're right. My mistake. Bill U77, Cleveland may surprise people this year. Well, they did well last year. They went to the playoffs. So, I don't know if it'd be a surprise that they made it back to the playoffs. Watson, the quarterback that's going to be critical, how's he going to play? We talk about Russell Wilson. We talk about Justin Fields for the Steelers. What about Deshaun Watson in Cleveland? If you ask me, so far, as just someone looking from the outside looking in, he hasn't been worth the money. Cleveland has been in quarterback purgatory for years and years and years, since Bernie Kosar, since he played, and he was outstanding. He's the University of Miami guy, but they haven't really had anyone. They got rid of Baker Mayfield. They didn't let that play out to see how they would go, and maybe it wouldn't have worked out as well as they had hoped. But Mayfield goes to Tampa Bay. They go to the playoffs. The Browns, the question is, did they overpay for Deshaun Watson? Yes, but they had to. They took a chance. Now the thing is, he has to pay off. He has to step up his game and get it done, or they're just not. It's going to be a mess again, because they spent that money, spent that capital. He needs to perform. For that much money, he needs to perform. So, and you can't control the money once the money's gone. It doesn't. He wants to play. No one wants to do better than he does. But so far, because of the injuries and because of the inconsistency, he has not been worth that contract. Now, if he gets the Browns into the playoffs, gets them into the championship game in the conference for the AFC, now you're talking. You get to the Super Bowl, But if you can get deep into the playoffs, already starting to pay that money back. But right now, so far, he hasn't done that. So he's going to need to get that done. Tim McCoy back on. The Steelers preseason schedule was released last night as well, August 9th. We didn't cover preseason, but you'll be able to see it. Let's see, August 9th at 7 o'clock against Texans. Then you have the Bills. You also have, you've got August 9th, home against the Texans. You get the Bills, and then away at Detroit. Detroit should be interesting to see. Detroit, you've got the quarterback, Goff. He just signed a big contract, biggest contract they've ever had in Detroit. And you can't beat those Miami quarterbacks. Well, sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. Bernie Kosar, national champion, and then went to the Browns and was getting it done for the Browns. We have been in overtime for a little bit, so let's start to wrap things up. We've talked about the NFL, and we could talk about the NFL every day. It's the one thing about the NFL; they own every day of the week now. It used to be, the NFL owns Sundays. Well, they have Monday nights, they have Thursday nights. They're going to do Saturdays. They have holidays during the fall and winter. They've, now the big thing is talking about whether or not they're going to play the Super Bowl on President's Day weekend, because everyone complains, I don't want to go to work the next day. I had the Super Bowl. Can't possibly go to work because I had too much fun watching the Super Bowl. I get it. So people have petitioned to try and get a 3-day work week or move the game to Saturday. Well, the NFL is not going to move to Saturday. They're going to play on Sunday. It's going to be Super Bowl Sunday. It's always going to be Super Bowl Sunday. But if they move it back to President's Day weekend, it's a 3-day weekend. Now, whether you have to work or not, that's going to be something that you'll have to decide. But the NFL thinking about it, and they're also thinking, if we do that, 18 regular season games. So NFL is always working, always got something up their sleeve. All about the money. Remember that. Tim McCoy back on. Also, both Fox and NBC will have one preseason game each. Fox Sunday, August 18th at 8, New Orleans versus San Francisco. Brock Purdy. We'll see if he's. This is the funny thing. Just in case you weren't sure yet, Brock Purdy's the real deal. He may have been Mr. Irrelevant, but man, how much do we have to talk about Brock Purdy going to the Super Bowl, whether or not he was the real deal, whether he was a good player or not? The guy's a good player. He plays in a great system. He plays in a great offense. But you know what? Not everybody has had success there. The guy can play. Just, so we don't have to, hopefully we don't have to hear that again. Oh, no, we've had a tragedy. We've had a tragedy on the 9-minute Phill-Up. Oh, my goodness. All right, New England at Washington. That is NBC, Sunday, August 25th. Tim, I got to take your shot down because, look, we're going wingless. We're going wingless. It just fell off. You know what I could get? I could get a monocle. Just get a monocle. Just look at you like this, just out of one eye with the monocle. Yeah, I don't know. Mercy sakes. That's not good. That's not good. All right, well, that's man down. Amen, man down. It was the glasses. George Wright is the glasses. Man down. Now, why we've got a man down? Because I basically can't see when I'm trying to read things that aren't. Tim McCoy, John, we have a great vision plan. Yes. I'm already thinking I have to call my eye doctor right away. Let's see. Pretty soon, 19 games. Hey, Bill, US 77. Let's not get crazy out there. You think more games are good, more money for everybody? Yeah, more money, more injury for the players. That was the one thing I've talked about this before. Brett Kiesel told me, so they want to go to 18 games. We don't want to go to 18 games. The body's just not made to do. You're basically having a car accident on every play. But the owners, they have the hammer. They can make the schedule. The players really don't have a vote in that. They'll just take away the preseason games, and then you'll play the 20 games. You're going to need to have at least 2 bye weeks. You're going to have a whole kinds of. Let's get to 18 games before we start going to 20 games. All right, that's where we're going to leave it. We got to go and fix this. We've got an injury. The Wings, we're down. But you know what we did? No matter what, even with the wing off and the glasses down, we followed our 2 rules. I always do that. I want to put it over here. Always follow the 2 rules. Always have fun, and always try your best. And have a great rest of the day. And I can't thank you enough for joining us. Greatly appreciate it, as always. And want to thank our sponsors, Mindset to Wellness in Follinsby, Cinna Speed and Fitness in Follinsby, and the Cambridge Wellness Co-op. And you would imagine if it's called Cambridge Wellness Co-op, it's in Cambridge. Beautiful facilities. We're going to have to take a tour of all those facilities real soon. I'll let you see what they are doing over there, because some great places to be to get the body, mind, and soul ready to go. All right, Joe Burrow is pushing for 2 bye weeks with an 18-game schedule. They're going to have to. They're going to have to. Joe Burrow, smart guy, great player. So I'll go with Joe Burrow on that one. No doubt about it. Let's end it there. Joe Burrow with the final word. Actually, Tracy with the final word. And again, Tracy, can't thank you enough for joining us. All right, everybody. We'll see you next time. Have a great day.